plaintiff, not a boy's son, dated the defendant for 7 years. And they always had trust issues because other women often called and texted him. Not as suing because she claims after the defendant gave her $5,000 of his tax refund, he took it back. Defendant Curtis Ashley says he's a club promoter and females often contact him, but for business purposes only. Curtis claims after Nada filed a restraining order against him, falsely accusing him of assault, he was forced to hire an attorney. So he's countersuing for his attorney fees and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Okay, so basically I've been with Mr. Ashley for approximately 7 years. And I feel like although he's a good dad, he betrayed our trust by taking money away from me and my kids. And that's why we're here today. So in the beginning of our relationship, everything was okay. And further down the line, I figured that we have trust issues because he had females calling his phone, and I would see text messages, and he would always be on Facebook, like commenting on other females, saying like how beautiful they are, and they would comment on his picture. And I talked to him about it, and I told him, you know, you was being disrespectful. I don't think that it would. How
many times did you have to speak?
Several times. I mean, it's been 7 years, so it's been several times that I've had to talk to him about it. But he's always like, oh, you're just being insecure, and you know, it's nothing, we're just friends and all that stuff. And also, as far as me being in a relationship with him, I always did feel like I was a parent to him. You know, we have two kids. We have 2 kids, and I work, I go to school, and I'm a full-time mom. And he would come home from work and just sit at home and watch TV or play video games.
That's false.
And
He would come home from work and do it? But he did work.
He did work, but I worked too, and I went to school, and I took care of kids. So, I mean, that's a full-time job itself.
And when you mention it to him, what would he say?
I'm tired. I just work 8 hours. You don't do hard labor like I do. You know, I just need an hour to myself. I just need to go to sleep. And I'm like, but I've been home with the 1-year-old all day. You know, he's walking around. He's not letting me sleep. I still have to cook.
What shift did you work?
Second shift. When he got home, I would go to work. Before I go to work, I would cook. Because he would come home around 3 o'clock. I would leave around 5 to go to work. So I would be cooking and trying to do my son's homework with my son before he went to school because I know that I could do.
And what would he be doing?
Sitting down, watching TV.
Okay, and when did he go to work then?
He went to work in the morning time.
And got home when?
Around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'll go to work from 5 to 1, 11.
Okay, so he'd come home at 3 o'clock and relax, and he said, can I relax for an hour?
Yes.
All right. So he come
but
home.
You can't relax.
Hold on, man. He said, I'm just trying to make sense of what you're saying because I'm not going to allow you to paint the man as a trifling loser when it sounds like he said he's working all day, and when he comes home, he just said, give me an hour break. That's what you said.
I don't.
He
get
said,
a break,
can I
sir.
just? Pardon me?
I don't get a break.
Okay, let's move on. Go ahead, sir.
First of all, I mean, like she said, our relationship did have a lot of downfalls. You know, I did club promotions.
By the way, a man who doesn't do anything around the house, don't stay with him 7 years. Get somebody who will do something.
Well,
don't stay with a lazy guy for 7 years, man. Pardon me?
I hope that he would
For
change.
7 whole years, you hope that he would change.
I mean, I was young when we started.
Gotcha, man. Go ahead.
I did club promotions, and I would have females contact me for business. You know, she would argue about it, claiming that I'm cheating. Yes, I did comment on some females' picture that were friends of mine. Compliment, yes, the picture is beautiful. You know, nothing.
Come on, man, you're a club promoter. You know you're out there chasing women.
No, not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No. These are my friends that I knew for years.
Man, get out to her.
Not the ones that she.
Give her that story.
Not the ones she's talking about.
I'm a club promoter, and all of them, I did comment a little on how they look. And you're talking about how fine they are. You're a club promoter.
No, I don't go that far. I don't go that far. But as far as, you know, her feeling like she's the adult in a relationship, I mean, I take care of my kids. I love my kids.
She said that.
I'm a good father. When she leaves from work, I take care of the kids. I cook, I clean. I would do 12 hours at work, come home, it's not even a minute, and she's, why you're not cleaning?
That's the impression I get.
Can I get at least an hour break?
She said that.
You know,
But if I'm
that's certainly treating him like a kid when he says he wants an hour and you say no. You know? No hour, get to work. That's what you do to kids. You're
Gives
right.
him a mop.
But if I'm getting ready for work and I have
We're
a
not doing this
one-year-old-
anymore. That's enough. We're not going to nickel and dime and see who took a half-hour break instead of an hour. Let's get to the breach of contract you're suing him for.
Okay, so while we were living together, we were doing our taxes, but he decided to do his taxes first. And we had a verbal agreement that because I stopped working from 20 hours to 35 hours because it was overwhelming. I was only doing just 1 day a week because I was still going to school and I was still taking care of the kids. So I told him that we agreed that since he was getting about $8,000 back, that because he was about to move out maybe in another month, that he would get $3,000 and I would get the remaining, which was approximately about $5,000.
False.
The money was going to be to take care of the kids, and I had a car that needed to be fixed.
Okay, so it was basically an agreement between the two of you. When I get my income tax,
Right.
I'm going to give you $3,000. Is that what you said, or how much?
He's going to get $3,000. I would get $5,000 because I was on.
All right, he said, I'll give you $5,000 when I get my income. So this
Right.
is based on an agreement?
Yes.
All right.
Do 12 hours at work, come home, it's not even a minute, and she's, why you're not cleaning?
That's the impression I get.
Can I get at least an hour break?
He said that.
You know,
But if I'm getting
That's
ready-
certainly treating him like a kid. When he says he wants an hour, you say, no. No hour. Get to work.
Plaintiff, not a boy's son, dated the defendant, and she claims after they broke up, the defendant pushed her, and she was forced to file a restraining order against him.
So what happened?
On March the 13th, he actually found a text message from another guy on my phone. He got upset. We had an argument, and the police was called because one of the next door neighbors called the police because I guess they heard arguing and yelling. They came by, and no charges were pressed. So they end up leaving.
Okay, you're getting to the legal issues. Let's continue with the breach of contract. What happened with the money?
I went out of town maybe 2 or 3 days after that. And when I came back, I filed a restraining order.
Why?
Because of what he did.
What did he do?
He pushed me. It was an altercation and he pushed me.
Before the police came?
Right.
Okay.
That's the reason
Let's see
that
the
the
police
next door.
report. Let's see the police report. Now, why don't you just read to me the part where you told them he pushed you?
6 days
they
later.
came-
All right, whenever you told the police that, let me see. Oh, you told them 6 days later?
6 days later.
You didn't tell, hold on. When the
Okay.
police came, when
Right.
you called the police that day.
Well, no. I didn't call the police that day. Someone else didn't.
All right, so when they came,
Right.
what did you tell them?
I told him that we were just arguing
Why didn't you tell him he had pushed you?
because I didn't want him to get arrested.
So 6 days later, why did you want him to
I
get
went out of
arrested?
town and I thought about it, and I felt like it was it wasn't right for him to do that. So
It wasn't right for him to push you.
Yeah, put his
You hadn't
hands on
thought
me.
about it when the police came the first time. You thought it was right then.
no, I didn't think it was right.
So
but
why
I
did it
said I
take you
didn't want him
6
to get-
days?
I didn't want him to get arrested. I loved him, so I mean, regardless if we had
All right, so why
altercation,
6?
I didn't want
Hold
him.
on. So why 6 days later did you decide you did want him to get arrested?
No, I didn't say I wanted him to get arrested.
When
I
you
just
tell,
wanted
so
to be
when you tell,
restrained.
hold on. When you tell the police you were assaulted, that's what they do. They arrest the people who assault you.
I went for a restraining order, sir.
You did what many, many people do, men and women. They find a way to get at the man that they're mad at. And it's very easy to go down and say, give me a restraining order. And you waited 6 days to go and get the restraining order.
I was out of town.
Okay, so when you came back, what did you
That's
think was
when I
going to
did.
happen?
When I came back, that's when I.
What did you think would happen when you came back to cause you to get a restraining order?
That he wasn't able to just come because he still had the key to my house. I didn't want him to be able to just to come back to the house and maybe just to come in or get the car or just because when I came back, I found out he left and he ended up taking the like the table, the washer and dryer, and like little stuff from the house, just
Did they
like
belong
pictures
to
and
him?
stuff. It was both of us.
Okay.
For both of us, yeah.
All right, let me hear your side, sir.
Okay. I never had an agreement of a certain amount that I was going to give her. I agreed that I would help her,
Help
pay,
her?
help
her take care of your kids?
help her pay the bills because she wasn't
You lived
working.
there?
No. When I moved out, I agreed to her that
No, we're talking about when you lived there. She says when you lived there, the two of you decided that she would get $5,000.
No, I agreed that I would help her out until she
There was
gets
never
a job.
mention of $5,000?
No.
You
sir.
never said, I'll give you $5,000?
No.
All right, what do you want to tell me about this restraining order? You have a copy?
No, I don't have a copy. This is the only one I have.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You don't have a copy of the restraining order?
No, it disappeared out of my car.
Go ahead.
The day that I seen the text message, I got upset. I was yelling. We was arguing. I never touched her. The police came. They asked me if she hit me or anything like that, if I wanted to press any charges. I told them no. They asked her the same thing. She said
I know.
no.
That's why I gave her a hard time. I'm tired of people going to a court saying, I want a restraining order. Cause a man all these problems when all they've done is had an argument. Restraining orders, in many, many instances, are used to retaliate at somebody you're mad at. It's used all the time. And we're going to find out what happened in that restraining order. First of all, let's get by this $5,000. You have anything showing he agreed to pay $5,000?
Not $5,000, but I have an audio stating that he was going to pay me the money back. It doesn't specifically.
Does it say how much?
It doesn't say specifically.
Okay, he says he agreed to pay you some money.
So how much did he agree to pay me?
Sorry?
It wasn't a certain amount. It was just until she gets a job.
All right, but you did pay her some money?
Yes, I gave her.
Did he give you some money?
No. When did he give me money?
He never gave you any money?
I gave you $700.
Hold on. He never gave you any money?
After the income tax came?
Yes.
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
To pay my rent.
Now, let's get to your counterclaim for a lawyer fee. I suspect this means this is dealing with the restraining order that I believe she falsely put on you.
I had the restraining order put on me, and that I wouldn't be able to see my kids for a whole year. And I cannot allow that. You know, I take care of my kids on Saturdays. It's me and the boys' days. She knows that's important to me. And for that restraining order, I couldn't allow that. And the money I used for a lawyer for the restraining order. And I did beat that case.
What happened?
Because I dismissed it.
What did they say
The day of
the hearing?
The day of, she dropped the case. On the day of.
Ma'am?
I was doing it for my kids, that's why.
I had the restraining order put on me, and I wouldn't be able to see my kids for a whole year. And I cannot allow that. I couldn't allow that, and the money I used for a lawyer for the restraining order, and I did beat that case.
Plaintiff, not a boy's son, dated the defendant, and she claims after they broke up, the defendant pushed her, and she was forced to file a restraining order against him.
Ma'am, I'm going to decide that you retaliated against him for an argument you all had. You say that he pushed you, and 6 days later, that's when you decided you need a restraining order. 6 days later, then you dismiss it. So I'm going to conclude that you did it to retaliate against him like people do so often. I'm going to conclude that you are one of those people. And therefore, I'm going to grant you your lawyer fee and your emotional distress claim of $3,400, and I'm going to dismiss yours. Have a good day.
I'm done. As long as he takes care of his kids, I'm fine.
I'll always be there for her support. She is the mother of my child, and I'll always be there for my kids to support them also. As far as our relationship, you know, I don't want no negativity because of the fact of the kids, but, you know, that's her decision of what she want to do. But as far as me, I'm going to be a good father to my kids.